There are over 500 ghost towns in just Colorado, and most are mining or lumber towns. Some have great stories like Cripple Creek. Hello, my name is Rick Drew, and I'm a ghost town enthusiast. I'm taking a journey across Colorado for 2 years, visiting a total of 10 ghost towns, some of which are remote while others are more widely known. For example, my first town, Carson, is a remote mountain mining town. It is very interesting. The town was mentioned for over 87 years. J.E. Carson, who found mine samples, came back 5 years later in 1881 to make Carson a town. Only a year later, the town had more than 150 claims and more than a dozen prosperous mines. Within Carson's mining life, the town had brought in more than $1 million in ore. The town focused on mining silver, but also brought in gold, copper, zinc, and lead. Chaos broke out when the town was running low on ore, and most of the population left. In 1896, the town found huge gold deposits, saving them from dying. Yet again, they mined too fast, leaving the deposits depleted. In 1910, the population dropped to about 20, and rarely did anybody go up there. The town, in a final mention in a Jeep magazine in 1963, the road leading up to Carson was named the worst in the state. I packed up and made my way to Garfield. Garfield was named after the president of the time, Garfield. The original name was Junction City, but after a horrific fire, which burned most of the city down, it was rebuilt and renamed Garfield. The town eventually died off along with the silver mines there. And now it's a tourist attraction, but it's keeping people from settling down due to the constant avalanches. While still near the mountains, I decided to visit another town that died off from mining too much ore too fast. Gold Hill was established in 1859 by George Jackson and 6 other prospectors. Like the name, the town was known for digging up gold mixed with another ore called horsefall. The town's first rush lasted 10 years, and throughout it was booming. Like the sad fate of Carson, they dug too fast, causing chaos. And some of the population left, yet not everyone left Gold Hill then. The town's luck came back in 1871 when a few miners found more of the ore tellurium. They ignored this ore thinking it was useless. These miners and the ore tellurium sparked the town's second rush. They didn't learn their lesson and mined the ore dry. This time, truly abandoning Gold Hill and making it a remote ghost town. Many of these towns mined the ore there dry and gave no reason for anyone to stay or come back. Even Jamestown, founded by George Zweig, the town mined all the gold that was available and simply just left. The town Independence I visited on my journey had the same fateful destiny as the others. Bill Bennett and a couple other prospectors crossed Independent Pass in 1879 when they found some good gold deposits and decided to stay. I was personally intrigued so far, so I asked more and learned more. The town was used for mining and a place to rest when riding a stagecoach. Only in just a few years, the ore gave out. One person remained in 1900 and eventually left in 1912. These towns were ripped apart by their greed to get money fast, so they mined and eventually ran out of ore, killing the towns. Yet not all the ghost towns were killed by mining all the ore possible. Others were burned down like Garfield that I mentioned earlier. Comeau is another that was put in a fiery grave. It was established in 1879 as a place to lay tracks for the Pacific Railway. The trains would go through Comeau and pick up the silver the town dug up. This was about the time of the silver rush. In 1893, the town was still booming. Now receiving electricity, the town mined coal, silver, and made parts for the trains. In 1909, the railway shop was burned up and not replaced. That led more bad luck. The Alpine Tunnel for the trains was abandoned and eliminated 2/3 of the population. By 1911, less and less trains passed through, and by then the rest of the railway shops were closed for good. By 1935, the roundhouse was burned and closed and not replaced. The Pacific Railway stopped all trains going through Comeau by 1937. Summitville, like Comeau, had some really bad luck. I was surprised by how bad it was. In the 1870s, a man by the name John Esmond found a huge rock ledge full of gold. He took 50 pounds and never returned. That summer, a prospector found the same spot and named it after himself, Right Man's Fork. In 3 years, many people came to Summitville, staked claims, and didn't find any gold. They were discouraged and left. In 1875, people's luck started to come. They made a small mining camp and called it Summit. It was later changed to Summitville and a real town. In 1883, all the people who left were wrong since it became one of the largest gold producers in Colorado. People were ecstatic, but by 1889, only 20 people remained for the same reason as the others: no more ore. Chaos broke out when their confidence left them since they couldn't produce ore at a steady rate. My favorite town on my journey was Cripple Creek. I like it because it's considered a ghost town, but it's filled with people and casinos. Cripple Creek saved the state in 1893 from the silver crash. Only a year later, Cripple Creek had all the ins and outs. Telephones, telegraphs, electricity, population of 6,000, and already raised over $5 million in mines. 2 fires broke out only days apart, destroying half the town. This didn't stop them. They rebuilt the burnt buildings with brick. By 1900s, they made over $8 million in their mines. Gambling was legalized, and people preferred that rather than mining. Now Cripple Creek is a casino ghost town. While I was leaving some of the most remarkable ghost towns I have ever seen, I decided I would stop at one more, Pitkin. It was named after the second governor of Courtsville. In 1879, by Fairway Peak, the town Pitkin was founded. In 1882, the town had so much ore they mined and couldn't ship it out, so they went bankrupt. The Sherman Act in 1893 demolished the silver cost. The gold they found was vital to their survival. This gold lasted until 1916. The town soon became a not-so-successful lumber mill and died off. Through all my journey, I noticed again and again that these towns were way past their peak, and that they went crazy with what they had and wasted it. That these towns won't be able to become normal towns again. They lost their opportunities and their capabilities.